You wake up at 6:12 in the morning and you already know the number before you check it. You don't need the app. You've done this math so many times it lives in your body like a second heartbeat. Rent Thursday. Insurance the 3rd, something always eats whatever's left before the month is even half over. You do this quietly in the dark so you don't wake anyone, the same calculation you've been running for years. Not because you're bad with money. Because nobody ever showed you what the other side of this actually feels like. If that math happens before your feet hit the floor, this video is going to change something. Not because I'm going to tell you to cancel subscriptions or skip coffee. You've heard that 100 times. This isn't that. This is about one number, $10,000, and what actually happens to the person behind it, not the account, you, the second you cross it. People talk about it like it's just a milestone on a screen. It isn't. It's the moment something underneath everything else quietly lets go. If you want more of this, the real mechanics of money, not the surface level advice, subscribe now, because understanding this is what gets you there faster. Right now, almost every decision you make is being made by fear wearing a calculator. You call it being careful. But there's a version of careful that's just panic with a spreadsheet attached. When your savings sit under $1,000, nothing you decide is fully your own decision. You don't quit the job that's draining you, because you can't survive a 3-week gap. You don't push back on a lowball offer, because you can't afford to wait for a better one. You say yes to the shift you didn't want. You stay in the lease with the leak in the ceiling, because breaking it costs more than you have. Every choice runs through the same filter: can I afford to be wrong here? And the answer is almost always no. So the choice isn't really yours. It's made by the balance. $10,000 doesn't erase your bills. It doesn't make life easy. What it does is swap the question you're running everything through. You stop asking, can I survive being wrong, and start asking, is this what I actually want? Those two questions build completely different lives. Here's what the actual day looks like. There's no fireworks. You open the app the way you always do, watching the number creep up slowly for months, and there it is, 5 digits. You stare at it a second longer than usual. You probably don't tell anyone. But your nervous system just logged something it has never logged before. You can absorb a hit. Not a catastrophic one, the average one, the kind that used to wipe out your whole month. That one doesn't end you anymore. Your body knows before your mind fully catches up. Picture the version of you from before. Your car makes a bad noise on a Tuesday. Before $10,000, that noise collapses your options into one: fix it, charge it, figure it out later, drive home quieter than you came. After $10,000, the same noise is still stressful, you're human, but the next 10 seconds are different. You can get a second opinion. You can wait a few days. You can decide the car isn't worth saving and take your time finding something better instead of grabbing whatever a dealer shoves in front of you. A $400 repair stops being a crisis and becomes a decision, with actual options in it. Picture the layoff conversation. Before $10,000, you sign the severance papers shaking and take the first offer that comes back, because the bills don't wait while you think it over. After $10,000, you ask for the weekend. They say yes, they always would have. You just never had the room to use that time before. You think about what you actually want, apply for it, and negotiate, because you can survive saying no to a bad offer. That's the only leverage that's ever real, and it's the one thing $10,000 hands you. Institutions start treating you differently too, and nobody talks about this part. The loan rate you get offered isn't the one you'd have gotten at $200. The credit card mail stops being predatory offers disguised as opportunity. The bank that used to move you through like luggage on a belt suddenly resolves your issue in one call instead of 3. None of it is fair. All of it is real. The system doesn't respond to who you are, it responds to what the number says, and at $10,000, it says you're no longer bleeding. You stop waking up at 6:12 doing math in the dark. Not right away, slowly, over months, because what was pulling you out of sleep was never the hour, it was the pressure of knowing one bad week could take everything down. When that pressure lifts, your sleep changes. And when sleep changes, you're less reactive, more patient, less likely to snap at someone you love over something that was never really about them. You'll carry yourself differently too, without buying a single new thing. The fear was invisible on paper, but people felt it in you anyway. When it lifts, that's visible too. Some relationships that were built around your desperation quietly shift. That's not a loss, that's just clarity about what was actually there. And your future stops being about staying even. Without savings, every year is spent standing still, maintaining ground that gives nothing back. The moment you cross $10,000, that money starts working instead of just surviving, growing in an account instead of vanishing the second it lands. Interest used to be irrelevant to you. Now it starts compounding in your favor. Most people never live inside that flip long enough to feel it. You're about to. People will tell you $10,000 doesn't matter, that real wealth starts much higher. They're not wrong about scale. They're wrong about what $10,000 actually is. It's not the destination, it's the first proof, in your own name, that you're capable of not spending everything the moment it arrives. One last thing, and it's uncomfortable, so stay with it. This number is going to show you who you were actually spending for. Some of it was never for you, it was the image of you, the thing that kept you from looking like you were falling behind, when falling behind was exactly where you were. Once you cross $10,000, you start noticing what you spend now is for a person, not a performance. You wake up. It's 6:12. Your alarm this time, not the math. You open the app out of curiosity, not fear. Something will still go sideways someday, the car, the roof, a bad month. You know that. And for the first time, you're not afraid of it, not because it's all solved, but because you've already proven, in your own name, that you can absorb it. That's what $10,000 buys. Not comfort. Not bragging rights. The quiet certainty of someone who stopped reacting and started deciding.